Two Chairs No Waiting, episode number 785. Clint Howard turns 65. Two Chairs No Waiting is brought to you each week by the folks over at WeaversDepartmentStore.com. Drop by over at Weavers. Got some great new things over at Weavers you might want to check out. One of them is a Mayberry 4-coaster set. That's right, you can get 4 ceramic, stone, not sure exactly what they are, but coasters. They're really cool. They absorb the condensation from your drink. Got all kinds of Mayberry looks to them. Check that out. And while you're there, you might want to pick up one of Aunt Bee's wooden spoons. It says right there on it, I ain't about to be beaten to death with no spoon. Go and check stuff out over at Weavers. Two Chairs No Waiting is also brought to you by donations from listeners just like you. The executive producer of episode number 785 is Bob and Pat Mundy. So I guess they are Bob and Pat Mundy. Thank you, Bob and Pat, and thank you to you for being here with me. Wow, 785 episodes of the Two Chairs No Waiting podcast. Those numbers are just absolutely crazy to me, and I am so thankful that you come in to talk with me about the Andy Griffith Show every week. You know, I love it. I know you do too, or you wouldn't be here, and it is so fun. I've got some stories I want to tell you guys about things that Jan and I have been able to do the last few weeks. But this one in particular, what happened a couple of weeks ago, back on the week of April 20th, that week, is when we headed out to California. I want to preface this by saying, look, I am not telling you these stories in any way to try to brag about getting to do anything, because it is still an amazing thing to me that I am given opportunities to do some of the things I have been able to do. I am on awe. I really feel like this is just something that I fell into doing the Floyd the Barber. If you guys don't know, I do that. I've been doing Floyd the Barber, a tribute artist for him, since 1994. And I do it for fun. I do it because I enjoy making people smile, and because I love the Andy Griffith Show. And I've been doing that. I've been doing this podcast since 2008 for the same reasons. Run several different Mayberry websites. And I have just been absolutely blessed to get to do things, and Jan as well, getting to go and do and see and meet people that I never in my wildest dreams could have ever thought I'd be able to do. And anyway, I don't want it to come across like I'm in any way bragging, because I'm definitely not. I am hoping that I can bring you along with me so that you can experience through me at least what I've been able to do. So hopefully this is how this will come across. But I have got to tell you that back the week of April 20th of this year, 2024, Jan and I got to head out to California. And the main event, the main event that we went out there for was we were invited to a surprise birthday party for some fella named Clint Howard. Now, you might know him. He was Leon on the Andy Griffith Show. He was a little boy. He was on Gentle Ben. He was the main character. I guess Gentle Ben was the main character, but he was the boy who Gentle Ben was with. So that was, that's who Clint is. He's been on so many things, Star Trek, Apollo 13. I mean, just so many different movies, animation. He was in, he was the voice of Roo on Winnie the Pooh. He's just gotten to do so many amazing things. And he happens to be in the Mayberry royalty family of Ron Howard and Clint, because they're both on the Andy Griffith Show. You got Opie and Leon, and it's just amazing. So Jan and I had been lucky enough to be able to spend some time with them when we did the Mayberry cruise a couple of years ago. Clint and his wonderful wife, Kat, went with us on the Mayberry cruise, and Jan and I were lucky enough to be able to go on an excursion with them and visit and spend several hours just talking and enjoying each other's company and, just hanging out a little bit. So we got to know them from that. And of course I had met Clint before, but that's the time we really got to spend a little bit of time together. And lo and behold, I'm not sure exactly when it was, but it was probably somewhere around Christmas time or maybe right at the first of the year. I can't remember. We got a text message from Kat asking if inviting us to come to a surprise birthday party for Clint Howard on the 20th of April, which is his birthday. And because I have been talking about this, you may have heard me, retiring from my real job, I thought, hey, we can actually do this. So Jan and I made arrangements to go out there, and we did everything we could to make sure we didn't tell anybody what we were going to go do, because we didn't want to be Laura Lee Hobbs over at the dime store who found out about the gold truck coming through Mayberry. We did not want to be that person who let it slip out that there was going to be a surprise birthday party for Clint Howard. We did not want to be that person. So we were able to head out there and be a part of it. So it was really cool. We got there at the party, and they had pictures and stuff of him sitting around in the area where we were seated. There were two big rooms full of people that were friends in one way or the other of Clint Howard. And they were there, friends, family. They were there to celebrate with Clint and Kat Clint's 65th birthday, because it was that day. And what a great time we had there. I met several people that had known Clint for years or have known him, worked with him, and things. It was so fun to get to be a part of that. One of the things Kat did was she actually had everybody wear masks. So it was a masquerade party, and everybody wore a mask so he wouldn't be able to see who they were when he first came in and stuff. It was a surprise for him, and he truly did seem to be surprised. But another thing she did was, in all these movie roles that he'd been in, she had people with full makeup on, showing characters that Clint had played in these different movies and stuff. Though there was a character from Star Trek. There was the character he played on Apollo 13. There were just several. You remember he was on the Grinch Who Stole Christmas, the movie. So there was a Who there that he had played. They were dressed as his Who character. And I just got to tell you, it was such a fun event. Turned out Ron Howard was there with his wife, and more. We'll get to that in just a minute, but there is a video I want to play for you. Clint came outside where we were. There was a room inside, and that's where the family was sitting and there was a deck area, and there was a whole bunch more people sitting out there. So he came outside as part of his greeting. Everybody sang happy birthday to him. And he came out and he was saying his thanks for people being there. And then he got into this where he was going to tell a little bit of a story out there and mention something about Ron, which we're going to hear in just a second. And then Ron told a story about him that if you've read the book, The Boys, and if you haven't, you need to, because this story is in the book. But he mentions something and Ron tells a story. So let's go and see. Hopefully you can hear this well. If you're watching the video version, you're actually going to get to see what's actually going on as well. So let's go on over there and hear and see this.
I was incapable of pissing anybody off between the ages of 1 and 5, except my mom, my dad, and my brother. I get a lot of mileage out of this one, but I'm probably the only man in the world that's ever peed on Ron.
All right, I'm telling that story. So his nickname became the Hee-Hee Man, because he's always had his unique sense of humor. His Clint Howard sense of humor came from a very early age, but he was given that name very early on. And one day I was playing on the floor with some Lincoln Logs or an erector set or something like that, and I was 7, he was 2. And all of a sudden I felt this sort of uninvited warm spray in my direction. I looked over and Clint has his diaper down, and he's leaning back like this, going, so from that point forward, he was nicknamed the Hee Man. He's lived up to that. But I actually want to say one other thing, and then give it back to Clint. But I've loved being his older brother, but he's been an incredible brother over the years. And you know, you'd think as the older brother, you're always the one giving the advice, and you're always the one, and you know, giving the wisdom. I often seek out this man for conversations and points of view because he sees things differently than I do in certain ways. He's lived a different path in certain ways, and yet we have this bond of brotherhood, and I also just respect his brain. He's a smart boy. And so I've been very lucky to be his older brother, and I've taken advantage of it. You know, take it away, Clint. Have a great night. Happy birthday.
I bought him that sport jacket. I bought him those slacks.
So the video goes on, and Clint actually tells some stuff just about being thankful for being there, for everybody being there with him, and just thanked his wife and everything. So it was a really nice event, and it is so. If you have not read the book, The Boys, I cannot urge you enough to go and check out that book, because the relationship that Clint Howard and his brother have is amazing. I have not bad relationships with my brothers, but I don't think the kind of relationship they do. And their relationship with one another and their relationship with their parents is just, it is definitely worth reading that book if you can get a copy of it and read it. And even better, in my opinion, there's an audio version of the book where Clint and Ron read it. They read the book to you. And there's portions of the book when you read it that's Ron talking, and the other portions when Clint's talking. Well, the audio book is them actually talking and doing the stories. I can't urge you enough. If you're a fan at all, I know you would enjoy these books. But Clint Howard had a great evening of just, you know, everybody loving on him. He mentioned in there that he had bought Ron the coat and slacks that he was wearing. Now, this coat and slacks, if you're just hearing this story, it is a LA Dodgers. I mean, there's a coat. It's a sports coat and a tie and slacks that are LA Dodger blue with the letters LA on it, and it says Dodgers all over it. I mean, it's all over it. And that's what Ron wore. He wore it to this party, and Clint really did buy it for him, because I talked to Clint later in the evening, and Clint said, yeah, I bought that, and I gave it to Ron and sent it to him. And I really thought, you know, he would at least put it on and take pictures of it and send them to me. But I never heard anything. About, you know, I mean, he thanked me, but I never saw it or anything. So he said, I figured, you know, he just put it aside. So it was really good to see that he wore that tonight, is what he said. So, Jan got her picture made with Ron Howard, and one of the other things I got to do while I was there was I met Ron's Gentle Ben mother. She was there that night, and that was pretty cool. I had no idea, you know, that her name, by the way, is Beth Brickle, and she played Clint's mother on Gentle Ben. And he said he had just recently met back up with her. So I just happened to be talking to Clint at the time she was standing there. And so he introduced me to her, told me who she was and everything. But what a great, I just cannot tell you how honored I was to be able to be there. Of course, Ron's family was there, his wife, as he mentioned, was there. If you heard at one point, I don't know if you heard it in the video, he actually said, as he looking around the room, Maureen McCormick from the Brady Bunch was there. I didn't see her, but he told me that she was there later. I said, well, you know, I didn't even see her, but he mentioned her in that video clip. I did get to speak with Bryce Howard, Ron's daughter, and they were sitting down talking with one another. But I had an opportunity just to speak to her and thank her for the stuff that she's done, and I thanked her for some of the stuff that she posted online, because when I'm writing the Weavers newsletter, sometimes I'm able to use some of the information that she provides to give information about either Ron or Clint. So I thanked her for that. But it was a very nice evening. I think Ron's other daughter, Paige, was there, but the other twin was not able to come. She has her family couldn't make it. But great evening, just spending time there. One of the things I got to do while I was there was I met Jeff Daniel Phillips. Jeff Daniel Phillips, you may or may not know who he is, but I can tell you who he is. Jeff Daniel Phillips, one thing you may know him from is he is the current caveman on the Geico commercials. So the Geico caveman, so easy a caveman can do it. Currently, it is him, Jeff Daniel Phillips. But I knew him because I had watched Rob Zombie's The Monsters. It's a fairly recent movie where they did kind of a remake of The Monsters. And he played Herman Munster in the Monsters movie by Rob Zombie that was out just fairly recently, and I knew that. So I saw him sitting over kind of by himself, and nobody was. I mean, people were talking to him, but it was not overly. So I headed over and I said, "Could I get my picture made with you?" And he said, "Sure." So I got up and got a picture with him, and I started telling him, "Okay, well, I recognized you. I knew who you were. I know Daniel Roebuck." Now, Daniel Roebuck, if you guys are unaware, Daniel Roebuck has been to Mayberry Days a few times, and he is Cliff from Matlock. He was one of Matlock's assistants for quite a while, and that's him. Well, in the Rob Zombie movie, he played Grandpa Munster to Jeff Daniels, the Herman Munster. So I was telling him, yeah, that's how I knew you. I knew this. And anyway, very nice man, Jeff Daniel Phillips, but he is the Geico caveman. There were a lot of people there. I'm sure I should have recognized and should have known who they were, but he was. I felt okay going over and asking him for just a picture. But my mask, if anybody was wondering, I was Batman. I had my Batman mask on. Now, some of you folks may know Kevin Burke from Burke on Mayberry, the podcast. Well, Kevin is a big Batman fan. So there was some people getting on to me for trying to steal Kevin's identity. And Jan had a nice mask as well. So, but what a fun evening. It was just something you never think about ever being a part of. And I was just, Jan and I both were very thankful that we got to do this. And I hope just somehow that you're living through me just a little bit. I was just sitting out there. I got to there and Jan and I sat out in the outside. We didn't try to sit inside where all the family and stuff was. We sat outside, and it just so happened they came out, and that video I showed you was me holding my camera or my phone, and recording that. They were, Ron was within, I could have reached over and touched him. He was standing so close to me, and Clint was not too far away over there. So hopefully you could hear everything that Ron was saying. Clint was a little further away. That's the reason I'm not playing a lot of stuff he said, because he was further away, and they were playing some music over there that kind of made it kind of hard to hear what he said. So I may try to see if I can clean that up, and we might hear it later. But hope you enjoyed that. Happy birthday to Clint Howard. We got to do a lot of really cool things while we were out in California. Jan and I really enjoyed our trip. So if you're interested, maybe I'll give you more information about the trip that we went on, because we did get to see several Mayberry folks. Maybe I can pull this up. Let's see if I can do this or not. There was one of the groups that we got to see while we were out there was, or one of the people that we got to see, I should say, was George Lindsay's daughter. She was out there. She lives out there. And so we got to see her and her husband while we were out there. We went out to lunch with her and had a nice lunch. And she gave me some cool pictures of her dad, and that was so nice of her, but that wasn't necessarily Cammie and her husband Joe. We got to go and eat lunch with them. And while we were out there, we went over to Stark Howell. Now, Stark Howell is the writer, director of Mayberry Man, the movie and the series. And we got to go over to his house and look through the box of stuff that his dad, Hoke Howell, Dud Wash, had of all his career. And in the movie, if you remember, they talk about his dad having all this stuff and all this stuff. Well, it's a real thing. They got this giant crate full of stuff from their dad's career. Stark has it stored out in his garage, and he was kind enough to open it up and let me kind of look through it with him. He had scripts from the Andy Griffith Show. He had scripts from, I mean, everything pretty much that Hoke had ever done or written. He actually wrote scripts along with Rance Howard. He had scripts that had never been filmed or, nobody ever purchased them, but he had them. And just all kinds of stuff in this crate, photographs of crew and cast and everything. And so we went out to eat with Stark as well. I mean, guys, it was just a great trip for us, for Jan and I. Got to see a lot of really cool Mayberry folks while we were out there. And we were staying up in Santa Clarita. And I was trying to make things be Andy Griffith related. Have you ever heard of the Griffith Observatory? Well, we went there. I figured, that's close to Andy Griffith. It's a Griffith Observatory. Maybe we can use that as a name. From there, you can see the Hollywood sign. So Jan and I got our picture made. But we were at the Griffith Observatory. And you may or may not know this, but I'm a big Star Trek person too. So I was happy to realize that the Leonard Nimoy Event Horizon Theater is in the Griffith Observatory. So I went to that as well. So we did a lot of stuff while we were out in California. I don't want to bore you with our slideshow of our vacation, but I hope you did enjoy that. And I just want to thank Clint Howard and Kat Howard for having us out to be a part of that. That's something I'll never forget being able to do. Go to the Clint Howard's 65th birthday party. He had said earlier in the thing, the first thing he actually said, he says, I need somebody to help me figure out how to do this Medicare stuff. That was the first thing he said, which I thought was funny. But his daughter, Clint, had been in a kind of a punk band when he was younger, and his daughter, Kat's daughter, learned the song, and they actually sang it, her and her little band that they had together. They sang that song, or one of their songs that his band had played. It was just a very special evening. The family's obviously extremely close, and Clint was very happy. He knew Ron would be there. He just knew if there was something like this, Ron would do anything he could to have been there. And he was extremely happy that Bryce and the nieces were there as well. Because he said, he was surprised. He wasn't sure she would be able to come, and it was nice. He was extremely happy that his family was there. So, guys, again, I just want to encourage you, if you have not, I want you to go out there and read The Boys, because you will not, you won't realize until you start reading it how much of Ron Howard's career we already know about. Because we watched him as Opie, and then as Richie Cunningham, and just all these things he's done over his. And Clint, you will also realize how many things he has done. Just as an example, he's done over 200 plus acting credits that Clint has. I mean, it is absolutely amazing. The band he was in, by the way, was called the Kempsters. And it was named after the road that he lived on, the Kemp's Road, Kempster. They were the Kempsters. They were on Kemp Road. But he's been in so many movies, television shows, I'm not even going to try to list them. Go out there and look for yourself. But he has just been in so many things. What a great career he has had over his life as well. So, all right, I'm gushing all I can gush here. So, all right, I think it's time for us to play a little Mayberry trivia. Y'all ready for that? I think it's probably time for that. So, all right, pull out your pencils and your notepads, and let's do a little Mayberry trivia. Here we go. A little background music for that. So tonight's Mayberry trivia is once again brought to us by Paul Mulik. And this week's episode, wait, is this the same as last week? I think I marked the wrong one. Hold on, let me look and see. Yep. Okay, so here we are. This week's topic is sports teams. That's perfect. Fits in perfect with Clint because he is a big sportsman. There are 7 questions. Okay, so if you're ready, let's go. Sports teams. Let's see how our chat room is going to do tonight. Question number 1. What is the name of the Mayberry bowling team? What is the name of the Mayberry bowling team? Now, that would be the one that Howard Sprague was on. Remember when Howard did that? Now, it's a color episode again, but what was the name of the Mayberry bowling team? Okay, the answer, I'm not going to give you a lot of time on this because we got 7 questions to run through. The answer is the Mayberry Rollers. The Mayberry Rollers. We got 7 questions. That was the first one. Number 2. Goober is the coach of what sports team? Goober is the coach of what sports team? Now, you got to know the name of the team. It's not just like, oh, it's the one, Opie played on. Well, yeah. What's the name of the team? Goober is the coach of what sports team? Okay. The name of the team. You can pause if you don't want to hear the answer yet. Goober is the coach of what sports team? He was the coach of the Mayberry Giants. Now, that's the episode. The Ball Game is what it was. The Mayberry Giants is the name of it. All right. Number 3. Andy once checked the sports page of the newspaper to read about what team? Wow. That seems like there should be more than one of these. Andy once checks the sports page of the newspaper to read about what team. Now, I will give you the episode. It was Family Visit. So this is a black and white episode. It's Family Visit when Uncle Ollie came to town. Andy once checked the sports page of the newspaper to read about what team. Now, folks in the chat room got the Mayberry Giants. Some of them did. But they also got this team. But they got it wrong last time, but it's correct this time. The name of the team Andy was reading about was the Mayberry Bears. The Mayberry Bears. Now, that's from Family Visit. Okay. Number 4. Ooh, you guys, how y'all doing on these? These are a little tough. What sports team did Aunt Bee once play for? Oh, now that's a good one. What sports team did Aunt Bee once play for? Now, you may know what sport it was, but what was the team's name? Or what was the team? Okay, so you may know which sport it was, and that's good. But I think we're really wanting to know what organization that she played for. Okay, this is from Only a Rose. It's from that episode. Okay, so I'm going to give you the answer now. What sports team did Aunt Bee once play for? She played for the Sweetbriar Normal School basketball team. Oh, Claudette Beeman in our chat room got it right. Very good, Claudette. Good job. The Sweetbriar Normal School basketball team is what Aunt Bee played with. Okay. All right, number 5. So we have 3 questions left. Number 5. Who gave Opie a baseball autographed by the New York Yankees? All of them. All the New York Yankees. Who gave Opie a baseball autographed by all of the New York Yankees? Can't give you a good hint on this one because it might give away the answer. Who gave Opie an autographed baseball? Autographed by the New York Yankees, all the New York Yankees. The answer? It's from the episode Andy and the Woman Speeder. It was Elizabeth Crowley, the lady speeder. That's who it was. That was who gave Opie the ball game. She bribed him, remember? All right. 2 questions left. Number 6. What football team did Flip Conroy play for? Opie's coach, Flip Conroy. What pro football team did he play for? That's tough. What football team did Flip Conroy play for? And that was a professional team. That was from the episode Opie's Piano Lessons. Color episode. Got to watch the color episodes, guys. The answer, going to go ahead and give it to you because I don't know if you got it. He played for the Giants. The New York Giants. Good job. Opie's Charity got it in our chat room. All right. Number 7, our final question. Andy reluctantly agreed to umpire a game in which Opie's team played against what other team? What was the name of the other team? Now, we already got the Mayberry Giants. We already got that one because Goober was coaching that team. So what was the name of the team that they were playing that day? Andy reluctantly agreed to umpire a game in which Opie's team played against the other team. Or against what other team? What was the name of the other team? Okay. Oh, folks in our chat room just got it right. So the answer, guys, it's from the episode The Ball Game. And he was safe, by the way. The answer is the Mayberry Giants were playing the Mount Pilot Comets. The Mount Pilot Comets. There you go. That's who they were playing. They were playing the Mount Pilot Comets. How did you do? How did you do on that? There was 7 questions. Did you get 1 or 2? I would think that's not terrible. You did pretty good. So, because these were a little bit hard, I have to say, I think they're a little hard. Unless you are a sports person, you might not have remembered hardly any of these. I'm almost 100% that I would have not remembered the difference between the Mayberry Giants and the Mayberry Bears. I wouldn't have got that. I think I might have got Flip Conroy, and I can't remember if I would have got the Sweetbriar Normal School basketball team or not. I knew it was a basketball team. But I don't know. Oh, the Mayberry Rollers for the bowling. I would have got that because I remember the shirts really well. So how did you do? Did you get 1? Got folks in the chat room saying they got 6 out of 6. One got 6 7/8. That's good. They got 6 7/8 of the answers out of the 8. 6 7/8. Lydia says she got 1.5 out of 7. There's 7 questions. That's right. So let's see. All right. Most folks in our chat room are not owning up to how many they got right. Somebody said got about half. So, folks, the main thing is not how many you actually got right, but did you have fun? That's the main thing. And did you have fun tonight as a whole? I hope you did. I hope you enjoyed hearing about Clint's 65th birthday party. It was a blessing to be there. I hope you get to experience it with me just a little bit. It is amazing to me that I'm getting to do anything like that I get to talk to people like Clint, much less be invited to his birthday party. I hope you enjoyed just a little bit of going along with me and Jan to the party. We had a great time, and I really do want to thank them once again for just having us there. What a wonderful experience it was. It's so fun to do. Something I never certainly thought I'd be doing. Folks, I love this show. I love the Andy Griffith Show, and all the folks that go along with it are just so wonderful. And I am so blessed to have been a part with it. Thank you for being here with me as we talk about the Andy Griffith Show. I would love to hear from you. Give me a call at 888-684-8415. Email me at floyd@imayberry.com or drop by 2chairsnowaiting.com. There's a button right there. You can leave me a message. However you'd like to contact me, I would love to hear from you. So, folks, until next time, have a great Mayberry week. We'll see you right here. Good night, everybody.